Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to attempt to walk you guys through our entire monthly budget process from top to bottom, from start to finish, from beginning to end. So I've attempted to do this on my channel before, but once I really went back and looked at that video, it really wasn't up to par, so I'm going to attempt to do it again. Now this video is in collaboration with Michelle. You guys know she is near and dear to my heart. I absolutely love her, and so I'm so excited to be sharing my monthly budget process and also being able to kind of watch her video so I can see what her monthly budget process looks like, because I don't really know what it looks like. I don't really know what all she does, so that's why we decided to collaborate so you guys could see what we do. And so I'm super excited about that. So Michelle's channel will be linked up here, and down in the description box, her channel is about budgeting and planning just like mine. So I'm just super excited to see how she budgets and everything. I'm excited to see the video, like I know some of you guys are as well. So anyway, without further ado, let's just hop right into this video. Okay, so first things first, my husband and I are actually budgeted out probably 2 to 3 months in advance. So basically what that means is for the month of August, which is now, we already have our budget put together for the month of September and for the month of August. Now, there's no real rhyme or reason why we do that, other than we kind of just like to know what to expect in the coming month. And so it also makes life a little bit easier for us, because essentially whenever it's time for us to finalize our budget and hone in on our budget, which normally takes place around the end of the month, like the last week of the month of that previous month, it just helps us to better be able to kind of finalize that, because we already have a preliminary budget. So right now it's actually the last week of August, and so any day now my husband and I are going to sit down and have a budget meeting. It's going to be really informal, it's going to be really boring. It's really just a matter of us communicating with one another, because we are pretty much like this and like this when it comes to finances. We're on the same page entirely, but it's just something that we formed as a habit last year when we started getting into budgeting and started our financial freedom journey. So that's going to happen any day now. It's not scheduled. It's really whenever we can sit down together and we feel like doing it. But we always try to make sure it does happen within that first week so that we can go into the new month with a finalized budget. And so that budget isn't going to be perfect and finalized either. There are still going to be things that pop up during the month, like a baby shower that just, randomly pops up that we didn't know about, or some other kind of event or expense that requires us to essentially come out of our pockets. But it's better for us to kind of have that budget in place as we move into the next month. So again, it is the end of the month now. Well, the last week of the month. It's the 22nd right now. So any day now we will sit down and finalize the budget. And again, it's just a matter of us just having a conversation about what we want to happen with our money for that next month. So September, what we want to happen with our money, where we want our money to go, what we want September to look like financially. So we really don't talk about finances too much. We have that one budget meeting, and then we might talk about finances here or there, but it's really no more planned types of budget meetings. So we really just have that one budget meeting at the end of the current month to prepare for the budget for the next month. So again, it's the end of August now, so we will be getting together and getting our budget together and finalizing our budget for the month of September. Now, what we're about to do now is actually take a look at where we actually do our budget. So you guys know that we use Fudget for our budget, and that is where we set up the budget initially, and that is where we actually track our income and track our expenses. And we absolutely love Fudget. We once used Mint, which is great. We used Every Dollar, which is great, but we actually love Fudget, or maybe I should say I actually love Fudget. So I'm going to walk you guys through that momentarily. And after we do the whole Fudget situation, the whole Fudget setup, that is when I actually set up my budget planner, because I do all of the budgeting around here. My husband doesn't spend money. We have the same financial goals. He just doesn't really, he's not super active with the budget, because he just kind of works and chills and hangs out, and I feel like I'm left to do all of the budgeting, which is fine because I'm better at it, to be quite honest. And I think that I need to be more on top of it, considering I'm actually the spender in the relationship and he is the saver. If it were up to him, we would spend like no money whatsoever, but I can't get behind that. I got to do a little bit of spending, I feel like. So anyway, so let's just go ahead and just hop right into Fudget. Okay, so we are now inside of the Fudget app, and I'm using this little screen recorder thing. Typically, I would be like right here, but it would just be awkward because it kind of runs over into this. So you're not going to see me, only hear me, which is fine. So I share with you guys that we are typically budgeted out for 2 months. So it is currently August, and we are budgeted for September and October. Again, it's just a preliminary budget. So what we do is, this is actually where we base all of our, like when we're having the budget meeting or the budget conversation, this is where we're looking. And I have this on my phone. I just got it on the desktop. Shout out to Danny, who is the creator of Fudget. He sent me a code so I could get it for free. So I'll be actually walking you guys through like an in-depth how we use Fudget now that I have this whole situation. So what I like to do is I like to title one August and one August monthly, or let's say it's September, I would create one that says September, and then I would leave the one that says September monthly. So this is August monthly, as you can see here, and it is going to have only my income, which is, this is the equivalent, which matches up perfectly with what I already showed you guys for the month of August. My husband's is not in here because his income goes into another account. And that's going to be used to pay down student loans, which I've said that many times before, but if you're new around these parts, that's pretty much what's going on there. So you just see my income for the month of August. Now, you can do an every dollar budget inside of here because, as you can see, the balance is zero. So we have, let me scroll down. We have rent and water, and you can just change the amount there. You can change the title. It can be as long as this. So you can put, you can put whatever it is that you want to put there. We have all of our expenses. I'm trying to scroll, but I don't know that the scroll. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's scroll. Are we scrolling? Hold on, because this ain't working. Uh-oh. That was, oh, shoot. That was 700. Let's change that back, which is not, I mean, my income's going to be more than this. I can already tell already, but let me figure, okay, here we are. Here we are scrolling. I have all of the bills and expenses on here. And then we come all the way down to savings. So if you are new around here, then you won't know this. But if you're not, then you know that this is going to be the savings from only my income. We will also save my husband's income. So income, this, expenses, this, because we do an every dollar budget. So those have to be the equivalent, which gives us a balance of $0. So whenever we're doing our budget, we're just scrolling through here, changing things. Of course, rent and water doesn't really change. Electricity might change. Let's say we're having our budget meeting and my husband thinks that he would like to have, I don't know, $125 for his allowance for the month, which has never happened, but let's just say that as an example, we would just change that to $125. Now, if that actually happened, we would have $25 left over, or not $25 left over, we would be $25 over budget. And that is when we would kind of just need to basically take that from there. So if you erase it, you will see down here the new balance. And then if you put in that amount, you will see that we are back to a balance of $0, which makes it an every dollar budget. I'm going to go ahead and change this back just so it matches up to what it looked like at the beginning of the month. And the reason why this is beneficial is I'm going to share that with you guys momentarily, but like the main reason why it's beneficial, but also having this electronic budget just means that we get to see it while we're out and about, and it can be like a real-time budget. So this is our actual budget for the month of August. Now, again, budgets do change. So some of these things are going to be different already. I can already tell you we've spent more for donations and gifts and things like that, but that's what we're about to look at now. So we have August monthly. This is our actual monthly budget. Now, come here. This is something that I create myself. So when I create it, let's say I'm going to do one for September, and I create the budget, and then I go back into it. you can choose to add the starred items, which I am not. And then it will just be blank just like this. And this is where I would start our monthly like expense tracker and income tracker. So I would go ahead and add in income. Let's say if we had a rollover, which is the amount that's pretty much left in our main checking account at the beginning of the month. Let's say we had $50 left in there. I would go ahead and add that. Let's say that I got paid on the 1st and it was for $1,500 or something. I would go ahead and put that. And then as we have expenses, let's say we get food from Walmart for 50 bucks. We will go ahead and put those in there, which as you can see, this is always going to tell me income. This is the equivalent of that. It's always going to tell me my expenses. So far, this has been my only expense. It's going to tell me how much we've paid, which we would have to check this as paid just like that. Again, I'm going to show you guys a full tutorial on this, and that's how we would check that. And that's why that would say paid. And we normally do check it after it's been paid. Like if I actually go to Walmart and spend $50 and I put it in here, I would go ahead and mark it as paid just like that. But as of right now, you don't have to mark it as paid. If you do mark it as paid, it's going to show it as paid down here. That's really the only thing there. So the balance here is going to be $1,500 because we started out with $1,550 and then we spent $50, so we have $1,500. And so this is what I do every single month. This always tells me how much money we have in our main checking account, as you can see right here. We wouldn't add any money from our savings or anything like that in here because we don't budget using that money. We only budget using my income. So that's the only thing we would put here, or our rollover amount if we have any rollover. So let me just show you like an actual thing. Let's go ahead and delete that, and I'll show you like a real one because I'm a real one. So let's just go ahead and scroll up to the top here. So when we started, we had about $184.34. Now we normally do what's in our checking account, our main checking account, as our rollover. That's our bill pay account. That's what I like to call it, our spending account. Sometimes there's $300 in there, sometimes $800. We basically just leave that money in there as a buffer. So if, let's say we went ahead and transferred all of the money in July and put it in our savings account, we might leave a few hundred in there if we need to. For the month of August, I think I got paid like the first couple of days, so we actually didn't need much of a rollover. But for the month of September, because my first paycheck won't be for like a week and a half into September, we actually will have a much larger rollover to cover like the rent and water and cable and internet, those few bills before we get paid, and those few expenses. But we're going to talk about that at a later date. I'm just showing you guys like what this all looks like. So as you can see, I went ahead and put in the rollover. A little bit later, I received a paycheck for this amount, and then, well, I kind of just skipped, but we had this rollover, and then we spent this much because we were spending what was in our account, which was our rollover. So we bought food, and I bought something, and we bought some more food. That was a grocery store run. Obviously, my husband spent some from his allowance. Then we got paid again, and then we spent some more, and then we got paid again, and yada, yada, yada. So this is, I'm going to bring you guys all the way to the bottom. Well, I don't know what's up with this scroll feature. It's not really working out that well. I'm using my mouth. Okay, let's try this. Okay, there we go. So as of right now, my husband's, actually this is like real time. My husband's student loan payment just came out. This is how much money we have in our main checking account. This won't be for long, only for like a day or two or something, and we'll get another couple of checks. We'll get like 3 or 4 more paychecks for this month. But this is how much money we had roughly. It's not always accurate because sometimes we forget smaller expenses, and sometimes we have cash laying around somewhere, but for the most part, this is how much we have in our account. And then once we get the other money, we'll go ahead and add that in as income. So whatever that is, and then we'll add in the rest of our expenses. So that's pretty much how that works. Let's see how we delete that. Okay, we just delete it like that. So anyway, this is real. This is about how much money we have in that main checking account, not in any of our other accounts. And we have a bunch of accounts, but we only use one to pay bills. And we don't need much in that account. At this point, I know the budget like the back of my hand, so we'll get paid a couple more times in the next couple of days, and then we have 2 more bills for the month. That's going to be life insurance, which is like $40, and then our phone bill, which is going to be like $80 or something. So even if we actually didn't earn any more money, we would actually be able to survive this month without having to pull money from savings or anything like that. So this is real time, and I use this every single day. Like today, let's see what, is this right? What is that? Oh, I forgot an expense. Just like that. Yep, there's an expense I need to add in here. So normally I do it right, like if I'm at the gas station. Didn't I get gas today? I did get gas today. This is all kinds of jacked up. Like I would do the gas, and I think I would just do it right at the gas pump. I think it was like $24.06 or something like that, because it was odd. I would normally do this right at the gas pump using my phone, the Fudget app on my phone. Or if I forget, like I did today, then I would just do it at any point throughout the day. Like I could check my Wells Fargo account right now and then add in the actual amount that was. But I don't feel like doing that because that would take away time. But that's essentially what would happen. And then I would mark it as paid. And then this would be the amount of money that we have. And it just lets us know that, okay, this is what we're working with in our main checking account. Let's say I randomly want to spend $500 on, actually, my husband's car needs something done to it. We don't really know what it is. We just know that we need to drop it off at the shop. But let's say we took it today, and this is all the money that we have in that main checking account. And let's say it was $200. Well, we could go ahead and pay for it using this account. Let's say it was $500 for the repairs. Then obviously we would have to take that money from our savings account because we don't have enough money in our main checking account to cover that. But that's not really too realistic because we're about to get paid 4 more times before the month ends. So we already know that we won't have to do that, but that would be like, you know, a real life example. So let's go ahead and delete this, even though I'll come back in later and add that. And that's pretty much what happens. So we just use this as like a running, I think like back in the day, this would be like similar, I think, to like, not like a check register. I don't know what it's called. Is it like a like balancing your checkbook? This would be similar to balancing your checkbook, except it is the year 2018. So we get to do this way and we don't have to balance a checkbook, but that's essentially what we use this for. And so the reason why oh gosh, I don't know what just happened. Oh, I'm out of time. No, I'm not. The reason, I got 3 minutes. The reason why I like to track expenses electronically is because it's really easy. Like I said, when I am actually focused and paying attention, I think I was Snapchatting. Or no, I wasn't Snapchatting. I was doing some stuff on Instagram when I pumped the gas earlier. So I didn't get around to adding the transaction while I was at the gas station. But had I not been doing all of that, I would have just added it right in, and it's so easy. And that's why we like to track our expenses electronically. So I've never known of any other app to do this. If you know one, let me know. I highly doubt I'll be changing, to be honest, because we've been using Fudget for almost a year now. But if you know of any, I would be interested in exploring it, but I don't know of any that lets you do all of the things that this allows you to do. Now, the last feature that I actually use, I do use though, you can, by the way, you can add a day column, but I have mine turned off. But if I had it turned on this whole time, it would automatically enter in the date for me like this. We have like a minute and a half before this cuts me off. Let's say we did whatever and whatever. Well, I guess I could, well, I think on the app on the phone, it does it automatically. But that's that, and let me show you the other feature that I like to use, the chart. So this is real. This is our real budget, and so as you can see at this present moment, 18% of our income has gone to rent and water, and that's pretty much the only housing that we have. Electricity is kind of a thing, but I don't know that I really count it as housing. Normally they say, I think about 25% of your income should go to housing, so as you can see, even like we're kind of halfway through the month, sort of, we're doing pretty good there. But it tells you everything that you need to know. And this is what I use to do our mid-month check-ins whenever I do those inside of my budget planner. And so, yeah, this is everything. What's another category? Anyway, I don't know. I can't really think of anything because we're about to run out of time, so I'm not really thinking correctly. But anyway, it gives you all of the percentages here so you can see where your money is going. So anyway, this is pretty much the Fudget app and how we use it and how we set up our budget. Again, we will be here when we are like finalizing the budget. So let's go ahead and like jump right into the next segment of this video. Now, the next thing that happens is I go ahead and set up my budget planner. So this is a planner folio, and I purchased it from the Erin Condren website, and it houses my Erin Condren planner. So typically I'll have like budget stickers and such here, just the supplies that I need, but I don't really have that in here right now. But I just pull out the planner, and then I just set my planner folio aside, and then I pretty much just dive into budget planning. Okay, so inside of here, I have a dashboard that I purchased from the Erin Condren website. It is a monthly bills dashboard. So I just check the bills off as they're paid. So as of right now, there are some that have been paid over here for the month of August, but I just haven't gotten around to that because I typically do that whenever I do the mid-month budget check-in. So this is just my monthly dashboard. You can put quarterly bills and all of that down here. And they also have a savings tracker over here. You can track your progress for whatever it is that you're saving. I have Shea Budgets here. And then we flip to this page. So this is kind of just like a yearly overview. So I have all of the bills and expenses, events and holidays and such that are going to take place for July 2018 through December 2018. So I just have the year 2018 filled out already because I don't really need to go planning too far in advance, especially when we're talking about the budget and finances. So I just have everything that's going to take place from July to December. I started this planner in July. That is why it starts in July. And so I just have the bills, appointments, anything that's going to really require us to come out of our pockets. And so that's pretty much what I put here. So I don't put like, I don't know, gym appointments or stuff like that because that's not really going to cost any money. So that is why that is not here. So this is only financial stuff that we need to budget for. Even if it's not a bill, which the bills are in green, and these are just the bills that we pay on a yearly basis or something like that, not our monthly bills. But even if it's not a bill, I will still put it in here because, for example, holidays, if I'm going to go home, or an anniversary, if we're going to budget for our anniversary or someone else's anniversary, any travel, that's all going to require us to spend money, so we put it in here. And then on this page, we kind of just outline everything. So let's just show you as an example. Let's just go to November 15th. That is highlighted as a bill. November 15th. Our gym fees are due. This is an annual payment that just takes place once a year. So that's kind of what I have going on here. Now moving into, we will start with the month of August just so I can kind of show you what takes place. So on here, what I love to do is use payday stickers and bill due stickers and place those on the corresponding dates. So we had paydays here. We're currently, it's the 22nd now. We had a payday yesterday, and then our next payday will be here is actually this. We will get paid 2 days early. This is like the actual payday, but we have Chime, so we get our paydays 2 days early for my husband's income, and so that's actually going to come on the 29th. But anyway, technically it's supposed to come on the 30th. What is that? The 31st. So our next payday will technically be here, but according to this, you guys are gonna, you see this as our next payday. And I have, like I said, I have all of our bills due in here, and so this is my absolute favorite. Now, some people have an issue with this whole thing because they feel that it's a waste of money, which is okay because we get to spend our money however we want to spend our money, and we get to do with our lives what we want to do with our lives, technically, even though the art of budget planning, which is what I call this, isn't really that expensive. It just seems that way when you think about, buying a planner and then buying stickers and stuff like that, but it's honestly not that expensive. I would say like $100 a year at best, and it's just really not that expensive. It just appears that way. But anyway, this is my absolute favorite, so I like to do all of that here. I will also sometimes, like, if there's something that we need to budget for, like let's say a birthday party or something like that, I might put that in here as well, just to remind me that that's something that we need to budget for, or just kind of to jog my memory. So, you know, if we have a birthday party that we're going to on the 18th, maybe this week I would want to, you know, be able to go get that gift. So just having it on here kind of just jogs that memory. I normally don't forget those things because I have another planner that I use to kind of plan out everything, but that's just something that I may do sometimes. But as you can see, this month I did not do that. So moving on to the next page. Now this is the monthly budget setup. This is my absolute favorite thing to do. It is so pretty. I look at this particular page maybe 3 times a month, and that's really at the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, and the end of the month. So the way that we have this set up, we have our income, the budgeted amount, our actual column, and this is for a mid-month check-in, which I do here on my channel, so this is mainly for that reason. And then I have the end of the month actual, so that's pretty much how the month actually fares out or plays out. And then I'll come back here and write those in. Again, this is the whole actual thing. I feel like this is mainly for YouTube purposes because I can see the actual within the Fudget app, but I do have that here. And yeah, so yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like. I have not gotten around to this yet because it is not the end of the month, but on the last day of the month, which I guess is the 31st, I will come here and I will fill all of this out. I'll film a video, I'll upload the video. So that's pretty much the purpose that this serves. Over here I have some business expenses, so I track those within this particular planner. I also track some other things in this planner, such as this is my Go Wild savings tracker. This is like a big planner conference that I want to go to at some point in life, and I have dreams and aspirations of going next year, so I'm tracking that back here. As you can see, I'm starting my saving in August, so I'll put here how much I actually save for the month of August, and I think I am going to save $200 for sure, but I possibly may just go ahead and add another $50 to that. But that's pretty much what I'm going to have to go towards this for the month of August. I think I'll do $200 to $250. So those are the kinds of things that I track here. There are stickers that come with the planner, a lot of line pages. I have receipts back here, typically just business expenses. And then I have like a dental treatment plan back there. So I just try to keep all things financial inside of this particular planner. That's pretty much the goal of it. So in September, I will come here. I'll be on camera because I always film those videos. I will set this up, and then I will set up this page, and then I'll set up this page, which would leave me 2 more pages, but I don't really use those. If I had any real reason to use those, or if I could think of anything that I would need to do with those pages, I would probably use them, but as of right now, I don't really need to use those particular pages. One other thing that I do is I always use the first page to set some goals. So these are the August goals, and I would put the September goals here. So there's that page. Then you have the monthly budget, or not the monthly budget, but the monthly spread. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of lined paper. And then you have that one, but technically that's the first page for October. So that's pretty much what I use this planner for. It's just my preferred method. I probably look inside of this planner once a week, and honestly, it's really just to see what all is coming up. So next week, I know this already, but I know that we are going to have our final 2 bills due for the month, and then 2 paydays. And so, like I said, I kind of already know that. Sometimes I track the beginning balance and the ending balance. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I will put savings here. Sometimes I'll put how much we've put towards debt here. You can kind of do with it whatever you want to do with it, honestly, but I always like to put a little motivational quote because I'm always looking at this page, these 2 pages the most. I think so because, like I said, I probably get inside of here once a week to kind of see what's going on. And so anyway, this is like my absolute favorite, and this is just how we set up our budget. And so this is pretty much the final process. Again, I will come here middle of the month, do a mid-month budget check-in, and then I'll come here at the end of the month, do a final budget check-in, and then that's it. I will go ahead and start planning the next month, or budget planning for the next month. And that's pretty much all of it. And that's how I use the budget planner. Again, this is my favorite. I can't say it enough. I literally live for budget planning, as I like to call it. So I know you can budget plan without an actual planner, but that's just what I call it. So anyway, this is the final piece of this video. This is how we do our monthly budget from top to bottom. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them down below. Definitely check out my description box. It has a lot of referral links and affiliate links and just pretty much a lot of information that I may not have shared just now because I may have forgotten to, or I just may have missed it, or you may have missed it. So always check the description box. It has some pretty good information in it. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.